you right there. In 2 days, well, March the 12th, is the deadline for absentee vote by mail ballots. Please make sure that you get one and you fill it out and you mail it to your Board of Elections. And not only that, please make sure you vote either on March 19th or before March 19th in the primary election. Make sure you get your voice heard, whether you're a Republican, a Democrat, an independent. It's a ballot for everyone. And some cool information is that you can switch your party. If you voted Democratic last time, but you want to vote Republican this time, you see someone you want to vote for in the primary, you do that. If you voted Republican last time, you want to vote Democratic this time, go ahead. Or if you was a Republican or a Democrat last time and you want to be an independent, you want to vote on issues only, you can ask for an issues only ballot. So please make sure that you go vote. Please, please, please. It is the best thing you get to do in this country. And without further ado, let's get into it. What's going on, y'all? How's everyone doing? Welcome back, or welcome to the Fighting for Cleveland podcast. Before we get started, in 2 days is the vote by mail absentee voting deadline. Please make sure you get them. Please make sure you fill them out and you send them out to the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections. Election day is right around the corner, y'all. So please, y'all, please, 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 if you have not yet, if you plan on voting early, please vote early. If you plan on voting on election day, please vote on election day. If you have any other comments, questions, or concerns, you can ask me, or you can contact the Cuyahoga County Board of Elections. And if you're not in Cuyahoga County, please contact your county's Board of Elections. And without further ado, we're going to look at what's on the Republican ballot for the primary election. We're also going to look at what the Democratic ballot is, and the tax levy is on here. Proposed tax levy, I believe, is issue 26. However, I'm going to do that for a separate video as well to explain that to you. And for the judge races on here, we have a lot of petitions not filled for the Republican side. I have to check and see if it's the same for the Democratic side when I do the Democratic video. But I really think that we should pay attention to the judge races. I get that this is a presidential election year. I get it. However, the judge races affect our everyday lives, and it's so important that we pick the right judges to represent us. We blame the system. We blame racism. We say this, that, and the third. But the reason why we don't have any good judges is because we don't appoint good judges. I just found the paper. I literally just saw the paper. If I find it, when I see it again, I'm going to make sure I put it in one of the next videos. But in Cleveland, our judges we had to pick from last year was absolutely horrendous. The ratings they received and all that was absolutely horrendous. And it's just sad that people aren't as excited and doesn't think the judge races are as important as the president's race, and they are, in my opinion, even more important. So please, please, please do your research on these candidates. I'm going to do research for you as well and bring you back some information that I have. This is an educational based podcast. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for, who to support. I'm just here to tell you what's on the ballot. I'm here to make sure you understand how government operates. And without further ado, I'll also, if I mispronounce some of the names for the judges or candidates at all, I do apologize. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start off with the presidential race. Super Tuesday just happened. Vic's on here, Trump's on here, Christie, DeSantis, Haley. All of them have dropped out, but Trump is the presumptive Republican nominee, and we say that because he hasn't won it yet, but he's the only one left in the race, and he is going to win. He's been the front runner since 2020. So he is going to win the Republican nomination in the coming weeks. But yeah, you can still vote for whoever you want to vote for in this Republican primary, but at the end of the day, Donald Trump is the only one in the race. For U.S. Senator, we have Bernie Moreno versus Matt Dolan versus Frank LaRose, and this is going to be to see who challenges Senator Sherrod Brown in November. Ohio and every other state in America, all 50 states, have 2 U.S. senators each. It's a junior and a senior senator. I have no clue who those two are. I don't know who the junior or the senior senator is. However, we have 2 senators. And one of those, of course, is J.D. Vance, who beat Tim Ryan in 2022 in the midterm elections. And now we have one of these 3 who will go on to the general election to challenge Sherrod Brown for his seat. For Supreme Court Justice, we have Megan E. Shanahan. Here in Ohio, I don't know what it's like in every other state, but in Ohio, we are able to elect our Supreme Court justices. It's not like it's not like the United States of America Supreme Court on the national level. On the state level, we get to elect our Supreme Court justices, and I think that's pretty cool because once again, we have a Secretary of State. I'll explain to you what that is. That's a video I'm doing. We have a state auditor, a treasurer. We have a governor, of course, a lieutenant governor, which is vice president, president equivalent. We have a House and a Senate. That's the legislative branch in the state government. And we also have a Supreme Court. And I don't think a lot of people realize that every state has a Supreme Court. And it's important that we all know these things. For justice for the Supreme Court, we have Joseph Delters and we have Daniel Hawkins. For Judge Court of Appeals for the 8th District, we have no valid petition field for not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 seats. For a member of the State Central Committee, 23rd District, and this is my district area, Cuyahoga County, Charles W. Barrett, Brian Andrews. For a woman, we have Nana Baker. For state representative for the 20th district, we have Donna Walker Brown. For judge of common pleas general division, we have Antonio S. Nicholson. For judge of the court of common pleas general division, once again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 no valid petitions field. Like I said, it's a lot of these. And for the same position, for a different, well, it's not the same position because it's different, but it's the same title. Tim Hiss is running. And then you go back to for the judge of the Court of Common Pleas Central Division, you have another no valid petition field. We have Jason Rails. We have Joan Seinberg, and we have Ami Ambrono. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. And for Judge of Common Pleas, last person who's actually listed, we have Timothy W. Claret. I actually met Timothy before. He came to my church. And for the rest, we have no petition field, no valid petition field, no valid petition field. And then for prosecuting attorney, it says write-in, so I guess nobody filled it out. And then, of course, here in Cuyahoga County, we have a proposed tax levy, Health and Human Services, which I will do as a separate video. But that's what's on the ballot for my area, for Cuyahoga County, for certain parts. Your ballot might be a little bit different depending on where you live in Cuyahoga County. And if you live in the state of Ohio and you don't live in Cuyahoga County, our ballots is the same on the top half. The president, the Senate, and then the Supreme Court races. I believe the Supreme Court races are the same. I'm not 100% sure on that. I will double check. But I know the bottom half of it, like the judge races and all that, is totally different. The local races, because obviously it's local, and my local area is much different than a lot of your local areas. So that's what's on my ballot. We will be going over the tax levy, and later this week, we'll be going over the Democratic ballot later on this week. We'll also be talking about who's the Secretary of State. We're going to talk about the State of the Union, what it is, what's the purpose of it, and we'll talk about what the response to the State of the Union actually is. And if it's any other type of video you want for this week or the next 2 weeks, you let me know down in the comment section down below. I really hope these videos are helping you understand government more. And until next week, y'all. Well, not next week. Until next video. Steven Counter out, y'all. Peace.